Words for the story, words for the play, words for the night and words for the day, words for the letter and words for the rhyme, words rolling round the tongue time after time, words from the ocean, words from the sea, words from the lakeside, words from the free, words from the centre and words from the edge, words from the traveller, words from the hedge, words from the wagon and words from the tent, words from the rich man when his money's all spent. Sorry about that. It's a pandemic thing. Right. Words in the papers, words in the book, words in the kitchen, everywhere you look, words in the leaflet, words in the post, words through the stick of rocks they sell on the coast, words on the notice, words on the wall, words on the tongues of the teachers at school, words on the bottle and words on the jar, words on the bus and words on the car, words on the lorry and words on the train, words on the bicycle, words on the plane. Words on the fishing boat, words on the ship, words on the t-shirt, words on the strip, words on the pitch and words on the crease, words on the war, words on the peace, words on the subject, words on the news, words on the crime, and words on the clues. Words that send a shiver. What? That send a shout. Words that send a message that everybody's out. Words that send some happiness. Words that send some hope. Words that send the very thing you need for you to cope. Words that make you angry. Words that make you mad. Words that make you good. Words that make you mad, bad. Words that make you hot and words that make you cool. Words that make you best friend. That's what I thought. Words you need to sign. Words you need to write. Words you need to speak that need to be polite. Words you need to process. Words you need to read. Words you need to check and words you need to lead. Words you need to follow, walk side by side. Words you need to run and words you need to write. Words in the silence. Words in your head. Words you are hiding that need to be said. Whoa. You're allowed to clap. We've got a live audience in here. Right, mute yourselves. Okay. I'm going to do a story. I'm going to do one of my old favourites. It's called Jack and His Companions. And you can join in. You can shout. Louis, you can shout in this one. You know what to shout. And it's from way back in time when my hair was dark and my beard was ginger and all my teeth on my own. And there was a boy called Jack, and he lived with his mum. And they lived out on a farm. It was a bad year, it was a bad harvest. There was next to nothing to eat, and Jack went, "Mum, give me a cake and a jug of milk and I'll be off to seek my fortune," which means make a lot of money. And Jack said, Jack's mum said, "Take half a cake and half a jug of milk and I wish you luck, or a whole cake and a whole jug of milk, and I won't." And of course, he took the half cake and half jug of milk and he set off down the road. But he'd hardly gone down the road when he heard a stomping and a clomping and a braying from the stream below. And he looked down, there was a donkey drowning. As quick as he could, he got a pile of stones, threw them into the stream, built the bridge and pulled out the donkey. And you all know exactly what the donkey said. "Thank you very much. Very much. Okay, that was pathetic. That was absolutely pathetic. You know, I thought it was going to be magnificent having a live audience rather than just Zoom. Louis, you do better all by yourself on Zoom than this lot. Right, I'm going to go one more time. Thank you very much. Fantastic. For I would have surely died. And where do you happen to be going? "Well, I'm off to seek my fortune," said Jack, "or at least live until the next harvest." "Do you mind if I come with you?" said the donkey. "Not at all," said Jack. And they set off down the road. Well, normally I get people to repeat things like road, but that's all far too complicated because I've got adults in here and they can't remember one thing from one second to another. They went to the middle of the city. And there was a group of children, and they were chasing a dog through the city, and tied to the dog's tail was a kettle. And they were throwing stones at the dog and stones at the kettle. And as they ran past Jack or have we dropped out? Is it still all working? Mary, for I would surely. And when you happen to be going. You can tell it's a storyteller. It's Juliana, who's going to be on later in the week, and from Colombia. She has flown non-stop. In fact, she's come on Ali's magic carpet all the way from Colombia to here via Belgium, and she's still got a better memory than the other people in the room. Amazing. And the English isn't even her first language. I mean, how good is that? So, anyway, thank you very much, Driver. Surely, where you have to be going, I'm obviously the fortunes of Jack, or at least live to the next harvest. Do you mind if I come with you? I just picked you up over there. So, you mind if I come with you? Not at all, said Jack, and they set off down the road. You're still being solo over there. Anyway, they'd hardly gone down the road when running in front of them was a fox. Fox's mouth was a cockerel. Quick after him, said Jack, and the dog started chasing the fox. The fox was running, the dog was running, the fox was running, the dog was running, the fox was nearly on. The dog was nearly on the fox ran, the cockerel got on the dog's back, went back to Jack, and you know exactly what the cockerel said. Thank you, Barry, for either surely. And where do you happen to be? We're off to seek out, or at least live to the next harvest. Do you mind if I come with you? Not at all, said. And they set off down the road. Oh, fantastic. I've got someone coming in on Zoom. We're flying into Marrakech. Who's coming in? Fantastic. Right. Anyway, you'll be relieved to know at this point it got dark. And they were looking for somewhere to stay, and there wasn't a cottage in sight. So they all lay down in a clearing in the woods, all except the cockerel, who went to sleep in the branch of a tree, but had hardly been asleep when the cock started crowing. What those cockerels made? Abdul, can you tell them what noise cockerels make? Roosters. Rooster.
Rooster.
Brilliant, brilliant. Right. So Abdul, go for it one more time, Abdul. Thank you. That's brilliant. You are going to come on the road with me. And what's all that noise? Said the donkey. It must be morning, said the cockerel. Look, there's a light over there. It must be the sun rising. That's not the sun rising, said the cockerel. That's a candle in the cottage window. It wasn't there earlier. We better wake up Jack and the others and find out what's going on. So Jack and the dog and the cat and the cockerel and the donkey crept out the cottage. They looked in through the window, and there were 6 robbers, and one was eating chicken's legs. It's all right, took them off the chicken first and cooked them, you know, in a very respectful manner, isn't it? And one was drinking lemonade, and one was counting gold and silver. And Jack said, look, and you'll pick this up as a cue, you know how this is working. Right. When I give the signal, make as much noise as you can. Now we're going to see how numeric you are. And he counted
1, 2, 3, 4.
And the cock started crowing.
Rooster, rooster.
And the donkey started braying. And the dog started barking. Dog. And the cat started meowing. And the robbers were so frightened, they ran out the door and went and hid in the woods. And Jack and his companions went inside and made themselves comfortable. But the robbers had hardly been in the woods for 2 seconds when they started complaining. I'd hardly started my chicken's leg, said one. I'd hardly have a sup out of my lemonade, said the other. Think of all that gold and
Silver,
said the other. It's all right, said the rubber chief. I'll go down and I'll find out what's going on. And he crept down the cottage and he crept inside. And it was so dark he couldn't see his finger in front of his nose. And he crept over the fireplace and he tripped over the dog, and the dog bit him all up his legs. And he ran into the next room and he tripped over the cat. And the cat scratched him all down his front, and he was running out the door, and the cockerel or rooster dropped down from the top of the door and pecked him all over his face. And he ran to the stable, and the donkey kicked him so hard, he flew all the way back to the woods. Whatever happened to you, said Spencer, it was like this. I crept down the cottage, and it was so dark, I couldn't see my finger in front of my nose. And I crept up the pub. Hold on, there's so much going on in this room. I mean, we've got technicians that are plugging things into other things, and we've got builders downstairs, and we've got all kind of technical stuff going on, and I've forgotten the story. Oh, I know what happened. I crept over to the corner, and there was an old woman carding wool that's getting a brush and brushing out the sheets, all getting ready to spin, and she saw all my bones going on. No, and she got that brush and stuck it all over my legs. Is that what happened?
Certainly seemed like it.
Well, the phone going off, but did at the fireplace, did she get, now Abdul, you've got a memory cell, you deal with guests all the time, you have to remember what they asked for, don't you? So when he got to the fireplace, what happened at the fireplace?
The fireplace?
Yes, when what happened to the robbers who went to the fireplace? Because I forgot the story.
He tripped over the cat.
No, very near. You give me the clue. He tripped over the dog. The dog. That was it. The dog. And the dog bit him up his legs. Yeah. And he ran into the kitchen. And there was a shoe mender mending shoes, and he scratched him all down the front. Is that what happened?
No.
What happened then, Julia? The cat scratched him. And I was running out the door, and the rooster dropped down from the top of the door and pecked me all over the face. Is that what happened?
Yes.
Yes, indeed it was, because I should have said devil with a 3-pronged fork, but never mind. And I ran to the stable, and there was a man with a big hammer, and he hit me so hard I flew all the way back to the woods. Is that what happened?
No.
What happened at the stable?
The donkey kicked him out.
The donkey kicked him. Well, whatever happened, those robbers never went back to the cottage again, and Jack and his companions lived there happily for the rest of their life. Fantastic. Oh, this is I know. I think I'll do a poem, another poem. Monsters. I'm going to do a poem about monsters. Me and my friend Joey thought, just for a change, that that was Ali just coming in front of the screen, wasn't it? But he was very good. He bent down so he couldn't see him. But and me and my friend Joey thought, just for a change, that we'd go monster hunting on the monstrous mountain range. Joey said we'll need supplies, that is what I think. So we packed some peanut butter sandwiches. Are you all right? Simon, do you like peanut butter?
Yeah.
Okay, anyone not like peanut butter?
We like it, but nobody knows what it is in Colombia.
Okay, what do you have in your, what in Colombia, what do you have in your sandwich, Julia?
Generally, you would put cheese and ham or.
Oh, so we packed some peanut butter and cheese and ham sandwiches. What would you have in a sandwich, Africa?
Here.
Yeah,
Marrakech, I'm here, because here.
yeah. In my case, what would you put in the sandwich?
Chicken.
Chicken. So pack some peanut butter, ham and cheese and chicken sandwiches. Sandra, what would you have in your sandwich?
Egg mayonnaise.
Oh God, some of them always great. Right. So we packed some peanut butter, ham and cheese, chicken and egg mayonnaise sandwiches. And I've missed Simon. Did I ask Simon?
No.
You wanted peanut butter, didn't you? So I've got that in.
Balti pies.
Balti pies. Right, so we packed some peanut butter, cheese and ham, chicken, egg mayonnaise, and Balti pie sandwiches. Who has it up in the corner? What would you have in your sandwich?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes, tomatoes. Right, so we packed some peanut butter, ham and cheese, chicken, egg mayonnaise, Balti pies, tomatoes, and I won't ask Ali, he's concentrating. He's trying to make, what do you want in your sandwich, Ali?
Chicken.
Chicken. So you can share up this. Right. And cans, fizzy drink. Well, Joey had a BMX and I had a mountain bike. We went as far as we could on those, and then we had to hike. We'd not gone far up the mountain when Joey called, look over there. It's the barbarous, razorless monster, the one that's all covered in hair. Well, we went a few steps closer. The monster let out a roar. You're supposed to be frightened. The monster let out a roar. Okay. Abdu, can you show them how to roar, please?
Yes.
Right. The monster let out a roar. Good. No. This is
Friendly monster.
Yeah, I know you. I'm trying. I want it loud and fierce. Fierce. And Abdu, you are my star.
Okay.
Right. The monster let out a roar. Give him a round of applause. You can't scare us, said Joey. That stuff doesn't work anymore.
Has been a long day, John.
I know.
That wasn't nice.
Yeah, I woke up in a different country. Right. And the monster let out a roar. You can't scare us, said Joey. That stuff doesn't work anymore. Then the excessively hairy monster with the enormous hairy. With the enormous hairy. I've been doing this poem for 3,556 years, and good job. So I'm now going to look up the words. Right. She's very live today. Here we go. Then the enormous hairy monster with the enormous hairy head called us over to a rock, and this is what she said. If you come monster hunting, then I'll put up a fight. I'll gnash my teeth and throw some stones and roar with all my might. But I suspect that's not your wish. You only want to know if monsters really do exist and how tall do they grow, and are there many different sorts, and where do they all live? Well, there's answers to your questions that I'm prepared to give, providing that you promise me you come with good intentions. After all, being around for quite some time without your intervention, that means poking your nose in. No problem, answers Joey. That is understood. Now, why don't you tell all your friends we're really very good and we don't want to upset them or ruin their routine? But having come all this way from Monster's display, you're the only one we've seen. Now the barbarous razorless monster put a finger each side of its teeth and let out one ear piercing that made the ground tremble beneath me and my friend Joey so much that even she looked perturbed. That's frightening. And then from each side of the mountain came the loudest noise we'd ever heard, and they came with a rumble and tumble, and they came with a squelch and a crunch, and they came with a huffing and puffing, and they came with a gobble and munch, and some of them had 6 heads, and some of them only had 2, and some of them were purple, and some were pink and blue, and some had 3 times. And in the morning we shall see what we shall.
See.
And the old woman didn't even say thank you. She just ran upstairs, turned around 3 times, got into bed and went to sleep. When she woke up in the morning, there she was in Riyadh Star in Marrakech. And and she thought, that's fantastic. People singing and dancing on the streets outside. Oh, what a city, she thought. The fairy went all around the world and did all those things that fairies have. In fact, what was going on that week was a storytelling festival. It went on for 7 whole days. And which, should anyone come to Marrakech at this moment, for 7 whole days, they will find going throughout the Medina the finest storytelling festival, the first Marrakech International Storytelling Festival. We have a part of our international. I keep mentioning Juliana. She's flown in, and I said from Colombia. She's one of our tellers, and she listened to all these people. Well, the sort of version of Juliana lived several hundred years ago, and after a year, the fairy decided to see how the old woman was getting on. To her surprise, this is what she heard. Woe is
Me.
woe is
Me.
an old woman such as
Me.
shouldn't have to live amongst all these ordinary people. She should live in a fine castle, and there should be servants bringing her breakfast in bed. And the queen should come to visit. She should curtsy to the queen. All right. Before you get into bed tonight, turn round
3 times.
3 times. And in the morning we shall see what we shall.
See.
And the old woman didn't even say,
Thank you.
she just ran to her bed, turned around 3 times, got into bed and went to sleep. And when she woke up in the morning, she was in a fine castle, and there were servants bringing her breakfast in bed. Now, what is your favourite breakfast?
Melon.
And so there was plates of, that's a bit healthy. Plates of melon. That was very, very much like a Moroccan breakfast, isn't it? Nice melon. And what's your favourite breakfast?
Olive oil.
Olive oil.
Olive oil with the bread.
Oh yeah. Bread and olive. Oh yeah. Bread dipped in olive oil. Fantastic. And so there was loads of there was just bottles of fresh olive oil from the olive groves.
Yeah.
And Simon, what is your favourite breakfast?
Porridge.
Porridge. Do you have salt on it in the traditional manner? No. Sugar or syrup. Maple syrup, preferably. Yeah, so there was gallons of maple syrup and porridge, and there was olive oil and bread. And anyone else got any suggestions for breakfast? Sandra, what do you like for breakfast? You never get up for breakfast.
Scrambled eggs.
So scrambled eggs. She's back on the egg. Right. So scrambled eggs. Yeah, today. Yeah. So scrambled eggs and yeah. Anyone not giving me their breakfast?
The traditional Colombian breakfast is a corn cake called an arepa with cheese and avocado and a lot of fruit salad and maybe some onions and tomatoes on top.
Right. So someone got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to start preparing this fantastic Colombian breakfast, and so there was trays full of food and jugs of coffee and mint and teapots full of mint tea and fresh orange juice, and she sort of wobbled downstairs. She had it all and drank it all up. There's some of us that don't like to leave anything on the plate, and she wandered downstairs. There was the queen, and she curtsied to the queen. And the fairy went all round the world and did all those things that fairies had to do. And after a year, she decided to check to see how the old woman was getting on, and to her surprise, no one else's. This is what she heard. Woe is an old woman such as shouldn't have to curtsy to the queen. She should be the queen. All right. Before you get into bed tonight, turn around 3 times. And in the morning we shall see what we shall. And the old woman didn't even say, she just got the servants to carry her up the stairs, spin around 3 times and lift her into bed. And she went to sleep. When she woke up in the morning, she was the queen. And the fairy went all around the world to do all those things that fairies have to do. And after a year, she decided to see how the old woman was getting on. And to her surprise, but no one else in this room or out in Zoomland are surprised by this answer. Woe is me! Woe is an old woman such as me shouldn't be queen of a tiny little country like this. She should be queen of the whole
Universe.
universe. All right. Before you get into bed tonight, turn round.
3 times.
And in the morning we shall
See what we shall see.
we shall see what we shall see. And the old woman didn't even say
Thank you.
thank you. She just got the servants to carry her up the stairs, spin around 3 times and lift her into bed, and she went to sleep. And when she woke up in the morning, she was back in her vinegar bottle. And the moral of that story is always cut your losses at breakfast in bed. On the other hand, for the children listening, you must always say thank you. And I emphasize this is stories for children. So say thank you and don't be too greedy. Right. So I think I've probably done, this has been the first fantastic, not only the performance fantastic, but the experience has been fantastic. Story from the physical, the real, the amazing World Storytelling Cafe. And a big thank you to Ali and Abdu, who have been fighting wires through this whole program, and to Mike, who is sitting in the corner thinking everything has got to be ready by tomorrow afternoon. Well, I have every confidence because he's that kind of magician. And because through the week we have live shows here, but we've also got stuff going out on Zoom and that you can look into. Go to the World Storytelling Cafe, click down Festival and click on Program, and it should show you the virtual shows. Or even look on our schedule, and it should show you the virtual shows. There's tribal dance and music from India on Tuesday, 10 o'clock UK time. There's our regular young international storytellers on Tuesday evening. There's going to, I think Monday at some point, I can't even remember when, we're going to have the people who couldn't actually get here live, going to do a Zoom, and and Ali's trying to work out how he can develop 8 arms and to do all this. And then there's just stuff going on a week. Look on the website, worldstorytellingcafe.com. But meanwhile, it's been fantastic. It's been amazing. I'm sitting in this place and it is just so beautiful. Now, Ali and Abdu, would you like to put your faces in front of the camera? You just need to, you just need to see who's actually been just making all this work. So, yeah. That was Ali's hand just going in front of the camera. So thank you both, and thank you, Mike, for creating this this wonderful place, and thank you to the audience. Thank you, Louis, for coming every week.
Hurrah!
Stephanie will be with us next week. Yeah. She's coming.